Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I decided to redecorate this little kind of fake Pat Pat Zoo sheep that I actually have, and I really love this sheep so much. Its face is a little bit ripped from where I've squished it too hard and like kind of pulled the head back a little bit, but I thought today it would be great to kind of redecorate it and give it a little fix. So what I did to begin with was I took this brownie coloured puffy paint and I just painted that all over the horns. I actually made it a little bit textured on purpose because I know the horns on like sheep are a bit textured, so I wanted to kind of stipple it on with the brush and make it a little bit more textured, making little lines in it as a normal horn would be. I did this on purpose, but of course if you don't like it you don't have to do that, but yeah, I just wanted to make it textured. I feel like I've said textured a lot. Anyway, using the same colour, brown colour, I also painted over the feet and then left that to dry. Before it dried, however, I did actually use some carpet glue just to like push back the foam where it had ripped. I then held it down and popped some over the top as well to seal it all in and let that dry. What I then did was I went back in with that brown colour again. It looks lighter before it dries, but it is the exact same colour, and I then joined up the two horns at the top to add extra brown on. I don't want to quite say what I've redecorated like yet, just in case you don't know and want to keep it a surprise, but I did another strip of brown across the top. I also then blended this into the horns with my finger so that it looked like I painted it all at one time, even though I didn't. What I then did was I moved on to a yellow puffy paint mixture, and I actually painted the entire thing in this yellow colour. I covered over all the arms, the hands, the face, just everything, and I also neatened up the join where the yellow met the brown along the top. Now, I've said this before on previous squishy ready decos, where basically the first layer of my puffy paint always seems to kind of bubble off. Now, some people have suggested using sandpaper. I haven't tried this, but basically once you come around to the second coat, it does stick a lot better. This is really bad footage from last night, but I wanted to include it so you can see how the first layer looked and how bad it looked, but then the second layer started covering a lot nicer and it definitely just became perfect by layer 3 and 4. So I actually put 4 layers on in total. I did it very late last night, that's why it's not included, because the footage was such bad quality that I just decided not to put it in. But as you can see, the layers went fully opaque and fully smooth, and like I said, there were 4. So once all the yellow was completely dry and all nice and smooth and opaque, I then went ahead and took some red fabric paint. This was actually the Scribbles 3D in the colour bright shiny red, and I just took a small paintbrush and painted on some dots all the way around. Once all the dots were fully painted on, I then left that to dry for about an hour. These dots were very thin coated, and then I went ahead and painted the face part back in along with the hands. I then took a dotting tool and just painted on the face back in the indentations that were still visible through all those layers of paint, and I then set that to dry also. So once all the paint was fully dry, as you can see, the finished decoration of this squishy was a pizza redeco. I really want to do a series of these sheeps where I make them into different like type of fast foods or just my favorite foods. Like I think I'm going to do a burger one also, and maybe even like a cake one or a waffle one. Basically these were inspired, I think it was Jenna Lynn that did the dessert one with the original Pop sheep squishies. I really love them and feel like I could do like a whole food kind of like redeco of them, and I feel like that would be really cool. So that's exactly what I'm going to attempt in the future. Anyway, to make this squishy kind of actually become a squishy again, because like all the air got trapped inside thanks to all the layers of paint, I just popped some pins in the bottom to create some air holes like you guys suggested. It didn't work the first time round, so I actually went and made even more kind of pin pricks in the bottom, and that didn't really help either. I think just the sheer amount of paint that I ended up putting on this squishy definitely didn't help. So I actually just went ahead and cut a little slit in it in a second, which you will see. But I cut a little slit in it so that I could allow even more air in and out, because it just wasn't having any of it with the pins. So like I said, I just made a little slit in the very bottom with the tip of my scissors, and this allowed the air to go in and out much more nicely so that it was much nicer to squish. As you can see, it is still a little bit dense, but it does like rise up nice and slow. Not too slow that you feel like you're waiting an eternity, but just the right amount for me. Of course, you can just stick pins in it or do whatever you like, just whatever suits your rising and squishing preference. You know, just make it down to what you like. So as I said, I'm really happy with how this turned out. Let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see me do different type of food ones of these little sheep, as I would love to. And yeah, hopefully give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!